Hello viewers, my name is Mr.Adebanjo and I want to happily welcome you to this video, and this is the second part of the WAEC 2020 General Mathematics question. Now in the previous video we made, we have solved the objective questions, all the 50 objective questions systematically, and we have been able to pick all the correct options. So it means that if you have not watched that video, you can watch the video. It's in the same playlist of this video. So in this video now, we are going to, in that video, I promised that we'll solve the theory part of this WAEC 2022 General Mathematics theory. And that's what we are going to do in this video. So what are we expecting in this video? Of course, for every question, we are going to tell you where the topic, where they pick the question from, and we are going to solve each question systematically together. So now, before we start before we jump to the first question, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so by clicking the subscribe button. And if you like what you are doing on this platform, you can help us promote the platform by sharing the video, commenting on the videos, liking the video, and sharing the video with your wards or your children that are in secondary school, so that they can use them to practice for the forthcoming examination WAEC 2023. So without wasting much of our time, let's jump to the first question and see the first question of WAEC 2022 General Mathematics, the theory part of it. Of course, in this theory part, we have 13 questions altogether. 5 question compulsory part, and we have 8 question in the optional part, which they are to pick 5 questions from. So in this video, we are going to solve all the 18 questions. So that's what you are expecting in this video. Now let's jump to the first question, which says that we have question number 1A. That means that question is of 2 parts, 1A and 1B. And question number 1A is from sequence and series. The question is from sequence and series. Excuse me. The question is from sequence and series, and is from geometric progression. Given that 7 minus 2x, 9, 5x plus 17 are consecutive terms of a geometric progression GP with common ratio r greater than 0, find the value of x. So we are given this sequence which belong to GP, and the first term here is 7 minus 2x, the second term is 9, and the third term is 5x plus 17. So when it comes to geometric progression, we know that when you are given the part of the sequence of a geometric progression, it means that we know that when it comes to geometric progression, there should be constant ratio in between two successive terms. There should be constant ratio in between two successive terms. The first term is this is the second term, this is the third term. So the ratio between this second term and the first term should be equal to the ratio between the third term and the second term. So that is how we are going to approach this question. So how do we get ratio? That means the second term divided by the first term should be equal to the third term divided by the second term. So we said that the ratio, which is r, is equal to 9 over 7 minus 2s, which is same thing as 5x plus 17 over 9. So we know that the ratio is supposed to be common. So that means this is supposed to be equal to this. And from there, you can equate this 9 over 7 minus 2s to be equal to 5s plus 17 over 9. So from there, we have this. Then from there, we can cross multiply. When we cross multiply, we have this this step. 5s plus 17 into 7 minus 2 equals to 81. Where how do we get 81? 9 times 9. When you cross multiply that, we have 81. Then if you open the bracket, we have 5s times 7. That will give us 35x. 5s times minus 2s, that will give us minus 10s squared. 17 times 7 will give us 119. Then 17 times minus 2s will give us minus 34x equals to 81. From there, we can collect like times. We have 35x minus 34x. That will give us x here. Then we have a minus 10s squared, which is what we're having here, plus 119. Then take 81 to this side. We have 119 minus 81 equals to 0. Then from there, we have 119 minus 81 will give us 38. So we have the quadratic equation to be minus 10s squared plus x plus 38 equals 0. We can try to eliminate this minus by multiplying through by minus, and that changes to plus. This become minus, this become minus equals to 0. Then we can now solve this quadratic equation now using any of the method we know, whether factorization method, completing the square method, or formula method. Anyone you know is highly allowed or welcome. But I know that this can be factorized. It can be factorized. So what do? We can look, this 10 will multiply 338. This 10 will multiply minus 38. That means we'll be having minus 380. Then you look for two numbers you can multiply together to give us minus 380. And when you add those two numbers together, it will give us minus 1 here. And what are the two numbers? Two numbers are minus 20 plus 19. Minus 20 plus 19. Minus 20 times plus 19 will give us minus 380. Then minus 20 plus 19 will give us minus 1. So you now use this one to represent this minus 1 here. So you'll be having 10x squared minus 20x plus 19x, because minus 20x plus 19x will give us minus x here. Is that taken? Set minus 38 is equal to 0. Then we can factorize these two terms now. Factorize this, then factorize this. Something is common to these two terms. 10x is common. So that means we have 10x. 10x in 10x squared will give us x, minus 10x in 20x will give us 2. So in between this and this as well, something is common. 19 is common. So 19 from 19x, so we have x left. Then 19 minus 38, that gives minus 2 equals to 0. So we know that the two brackets are meant to be equal. If they are not equal, then something is wrong. So from there, we can pick 10x plus 19x. That's what we have inside the bracket, multiplied by one of the brackets. X minus 2 equals to 0. It shows that x minus 2 is equal to 0, or 10x plus 19 is also equal to 0. From there, we can find our x. So if x minus 2 equals to 0, that means our s will be equal to 2. That means take minus 2 to the other side. That will give us s to be equal to 2. Or take 19 to the other side. You'll be having 10s equals to minus 19. Then divide both sides by 10. That will give us minus 10 equals to minus 19 over 10 as the second x. But the question told us that the common ratio we are looking for is greater than what? 0. The common ratio we are looking for is greater than what? 0. So if our common ratio is greater than 0, then that means we cannot consider the two of the value of x. So that means we are going to consider that s is equal to what? 2. So our s is equal to what? 2. That will be the final answer for that question number 1. Don't forget, we are solving WAEC 2022 general mathematics questions, and we are solving the theory part of it now. You have just solved question number 1A. We are moving to question number 1B right now. Now question number 1B is what you are seeing on the screen right now, which says that two positive numbers are in the ratio 3 to 4. The sum of thrice the first number and twice the second number is 68. Find the smallest number. This question is on a word problem. It's word problem, and also it's on ratio, and it's also word problem. The question is also very simple. We are told that the two positive numbers, which we don't know. So we don't know the two positive number involved. So we can use two variables to represent them. So I said here, let the two numbers be x and y. The two positive numbers, they should be what? X and y. So if we go back to the question, the two positive number are in ratio 3 to 4. That means the two positive number s to y should be equal to 3 to what? To 4, according to what she's giving here. So what's the meaning of ratio? Ratio means division. X ratio y will give us x over y is equal to 3 ratio 4 will give us 3 over 4. From there we can cross multiply. When cross multiply, we'll be having 4x equals to 3y. Then take this 3y to the other side, you have 4x minus 3y equals to 0. So we can call that one equation 1. Now let's go back to the question. The sum of the thrice the first number. The sum of the thrice. Let's first deal with this. Thrice the first number. What's the first number? X. Thrice it will give us 3x. Then and twice the second number. Twice the second number. What's the second number? Second number is y. Twice it, that will give us 2y. So they can say that the sum of thrice the first. So that means you have to sum them together. Sum now. Add them together. And twice the second is what? Is 68. That is when I sum the thrice of the first number with the twice the second number will give us what? 68. So also that will give us another equation, which is equation 2. We can now solve equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously to get the value of our x and y. And how do we do that? We can use any of the method we know, whether elimination method or substitution method. But in this case, I use elimination method. I try to eliminate y first by multiplying this equation 1 by 2 and multiply equation 2 by what? By this 3. So that means if I multiply this equation 1 by 2, I'll have 8x minus 6y equal to 0. Then if I multiply equation 2 by 3, I have 3 times 3 will give us 9. Then 3 times 2 will give us 6. Then 3 times 68 will give us 104. So you can now eliminate this y now by adding equation, this equation and this equation. You can add them together. So that will eliminate y for us. So 8x plus 9x will give us 17x. This minus y plus, minus 6y plus 6y will give us 0. Then 0 plus 204 will give us 104. So if you divide both sides by 17, you can find the value of our x from there. And s will be 12. Also, if our s is 12, you can substitute that into equation 1 or equation 2 to get our y. So from equation 1, which says that 4x minus 3y equals 0. So you can put the value of x there. Anywhere we see x, you can put 12. So that means you have 4 into 12 minus 3y equals to 0. 4 times 12 will give us 48. Minus 3y equals to 0. Collect like times. We have minus 3y. Take 48 to the other side. We have minus 48. Divide both sides by minus 3. And that will give us y to be equal to 16. So out of these two numbers, 16 and 12, which one is the smallest? Because the question asks us to find the smallest number. You can discover that the smallest number is the 12, which is x. So the smallest number there is what? Is 12. So that is the end of that question number 1b now. We have just solved question number 1 in total, and that will give us 8 marks in total if you're able to solve question 1a and question 1b. Don't forget, viewers, we are solving WAEC 2022 General Mathematics questions, the theory part of it. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button so as to be notified when else we post videos on this channel. You can promote the channel by liking the video, sharing the video with your younger ones and your children. Now let's jump to the question number 2. Question number 2 is on subject formula. You are having subject formula here, and that is 2a. Then number 2b is the substitution of subject formula. Now when you have made the subject formula, you can now substitute the values of the unknown. So given that y is equals to pr over m minus p square r into bracket raised to power minus 3 over 2, you have to make r soluble to the formula. You have to make this r here, this r soluble to the formula. And how do we do that? So it's very simple as well. Don't forget, I said the question is from subject formula. And how do we get that done? Now this r is inside the bracket, and the bracket is having raised to power minus 3 over 2. So that means there's a need for us to first of all remove this power, because everything here is cage already, is cage. So when it comes to this now, the question is on we can use indices to remove this minus raised to power minus 3 over 2. This one means the square root of everything here raised to power minus 3. So that means we should be able to remove this the power of minus 3 over 2. Then how can we remove this power of minus 3 over 2? If you multiply both sides, if you multiply the both side by the power of minus 2 over 3, because this is 3 over 2, if you multiply this one by 2 over 3, 3 will cancel 3, 2 also will cancel 2. So then whatever we do to this side, we can do it to this side as well. So we want to eliminate this minus 3 over 2 here. That means we can multiply both sides can multiply the power of both sides by minus 2 over 3. I can multiply the power of both sides by minus 2 over 3. So minus times minus will give us plus. Then 2 will cancel to 3, will cancel 3. So that means this y will be having power of what? Minus 2 over 3. Then, and I will be having this at the left hand side, which should eliminate everything at the power here, because minus will take care of minus 2 will cancel 2, 3 will cancel 3. So that means the bracket will now leave. I hope you understand that now. Now, what do we do next? We can find the LCM, because this is a fraction minus this. We can find the LCM, which is what? M. So M in M will give us 1. 1 times PR will give us PR minus 1 in M will give us M. M times P square R will give us MP square R. Then from there now, R is common here because our aim is to make R subject to the formula. We can factorize R here. So if I factorize R here, that might have P minus P square M inside the bracket. Then from there I can cross multiply. When I cross multiply, this M will multiply y raised to power minus 2 over 3. Then I'll be having M y raised to power minus over 3 equals to R into P minus P square M. Then from there we can now find our R by dividing both sides by whatever is in this bracket. And that means our R will equal to M y raised to power minus 2 over 3 over P minus P square M. So like that, we have been able to make this R, these two R, we have been able to make it subject to the formula according to the question. If you're able to do this, you have 5 marks for this. Then the second part is 3 marks, whereby we have to find the value of this R as well. When we are given the value of y to be minus 8, we are given the value of M to be 1 and value of P to be 3. So from here now we get our R to be equal to M y raised to power minus 3 over minus 2 over 3 over P minus P square M. You have been given the value of M y P, so we can substitute their values. M is 1 here, so we put 1 there into brackets. What's our y? Y is minus 8, so we can put it there. Raised to power minus 2 over 3 divided by what's our P? P is 3. You have 3 here minus P is also 3, so I mean you have 3 square, and M is 1. So if you simplify that further, 1 multiply this will still give us minus 8. Then from there, this one means raised to power minus means inverse. That's 1 over minus 8 raised to power 2 over 3. That's what you're having here. Then if you simplify the denominator, we are having 3 square, which is 9. 9 times 1 will give us 9. That means we have 3 minus 9. And that's what we're having here. And what is 3 minus 9? That will give us minus 6. And this statement is saying that what is the cube root of minus 8? What is cube root of minus 8? That will give us minus 2. Cube root of minus 8 is minus 2. Then that will give us here you're having 1 over minus 2 all squared, because of this square that is here, over minus 6. And what is minus 2 squared? That will give us 4. That 1 over 4 over minus 6. Then if you simplify that further, we have 1 over 4 divided by minus 6, which you can change to times. 1 over 4 times 1 over 6. Then this can take care, they can multiply themselves. 4 times minus 6 will give us minus 1 over 24. So that means the value of our R is minus 1 over 24. So that's the solution to question number 2. And that is also 8 marks altogether. So don't forget, we are solving WAEC 2022, the general mathematics question, the theory part of it now. And we are in question number 2 right now. And we are going to move to question number 3. Now, question number 3 is on circle, mensuration of circle. It's a mensuration of circle where we have to find the perimeter of segment. So the question said that a chord subtend an angle of 72 degrees at the center of a circle of radius 24.5 meter. Calculate the perimeter of the minor segment, given that pi is equal to 22/7. Of course, like I said earlier, the question is on from mensuration of circle, and we have to find the perimeter of a minor segment, given the angle at the center to be 72 degrees, given the radius of the circle to be 24.5 meter, given the pi to be 22/7. The question is, what is the formula for finding perimeter of a segment, whether minor or major? Perimeter of a segment is the length of arc plus length of chord. Perimeter of a segment is the length of arc plus length of chord. So, of course, the formula for finding length of an arc is theta over 360 times 2 pi r, plus the formula for finding length of a chord is 2r sine theta divided by 2. So, having known these two formulas for length of arc and length of chord, then we can easily substitute the values given to us into this equation, into these formulas. Then from there we can find the perimeter of the minor segment. Theta is 72 degrees, then divided by 360 times 2 times 22/7. Radius is 24.5 plus 2 times the radius of the circle, 24.5 sine theta is 72 divided by 2, because you are having the half of the angle, which is 72/2. If you simplify the length of the arc, you will have 30.8, and if you simplify the length of the chord, we have 28.8. So if you add them together, you have 59.60. So therefore the perimeter of the segment is 59.6 meter. The question can also be solved using the diagram. You can represent this information on the diagram and solve it using the diagram as well. Either way you take, you are going to get the same answer for the two. So that is the solution for question number 3 as well. You have 8 mark if you are able to solve this question correctly. So don't forget, viewers, we are solving WAEC 2022 general mathematics questions, the theory part. We have already solved the objective parts. So if you want to watch the video, it's in the playlist of this video. You can check it out, and so that you will see what you have done there. You can comment on the video, like it, share the videos with your children who are preparing for WAEC or NECO. And let's jump to the next question, which is question number 4, which is also 8 mark. Now question number 4 is on the circle geometry. Question number 4 is on circle geometry, and if you can see clearly, this is circle geometry, and inside the circle we are having a quadrilateral. Inside the circle you are having a quadrilateral inside the circle. That makes this circle a cyclic quadrilateral. You're having cyclic quadrilateral here, and the question says that in the diagram BCD is a circle. Of course, BCD is a circle with center A. That means the center is tag A. Angle BCD, this angle here is 2s plus 40 degrees. Angle BAD, which is the angle that is here, is 5s minus 35y. 5s minus 35y degrees. Angle BED, which is this angle that is here, is 2y plus 10 degrees. And angle ADC, then C, ADC, this angle that is here is 40 degrees. Find the values of x and y, and also you have to find angle ABC, which is the angle that is here. So we are looking for x and y first, then we are now looking for this angle that is here. Then how do we go about that? Now is by using some of the theorem that we have already learned so far in circle geometry, and by checking all the relationship that is between the angles that is given to us. Now let's start. you can see that this is cyclic quadrilateral. There is a relationship between this angle BED, which is this angle here, and this angle that is here, angle BCD. This angle 2x plus 40 degrees and this angle 2y plus 10 degrees. There's a relationship between them. They both add up to 180 degrees. That is, this angle plus this angle here will add up to 180 degrees. Reason: the opposite interior angles of cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. Opposite interior angles of cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. That is, they add up to 180 degrees. And by so doing, we have 2y plus 10 plus 2s plus 40 to be equal to 180 degrees. So from there, we can collect like times. We have 2s plus 2y. 10 plus 40 will give us 50 is equals to 180. Collect like times 180 minus 50 will give us 130 degrees. Of course, you can see that 2 is common to all these terms. So you can divide through by 2. So then we have s plus y equals to 65 degrees, which is, you can call that one equation 1. So we have in equation 1 in terms of x and y now. Let's go back to the question so that you can find another equation. Now, you also agree with me that there's a relationship between this angle here and this angle that is here. Angle BAD and angle BED. There's a relationship between this angle here and this angle that is here. What is the relationship? Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. That's another relationship. That means our 5s minus 35 should be equals to 2 into bracket 2y plus 10. Angle at the center is twice the angle at the circumference. And that's what we have here, that 5s minus 35 is equals to 2 into 2y plus 10. Angle at the center is twice angle at the circumference. So if you open the bracket, we have that 5s minus 35 equals to 4y plus 20. We can also collect like times. When you collect like times, we'll be having 5s then minus 4y, then take minus 35 to the other side. That means we'll be having 20 plus 35, and that will give us 55. So as such, we are having another equation in terms of x and y. So we can now solve equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously now to get the value of our x and y. So in this case now, I multiply equation 1 by this 4 here, and I multiply equation 2 by 1, so that we can make the y to be equal. I use elimination method now to find the value of y. So to find the value of x rather. So I multiply equation 1 by 4 and I multiply equation 2 by 1, so that I can make this y equal. So 4 times s will give us 4x, 4 times y will give us 4y, 4 times 65 will give us 160. Then when I multiply this equation, we have this back. So we can now add now to eliminate y. We can add this equation and this equation. So we have 4x plus 5y, 4x plus 5s will give us 9x. Then this plus this will give us 0. Then 260 plus 55 will give us 315. Then we can now divide both sides by 9 to get our x. So our s will be 35 degrees. So if our x is 35 degrees, then we can now put it into equation 1 or equation 2 to find the value of our y. So if you put it in equation 1 says that we have 35 plus y is equals to equation 1 says that we have s plus y equals to 65. So if our s is 35, put that here. That means we'll be having 35 plus y equals to 65. Collect like times, we'll be having y equals to 65 minus 35. That gives us 30 degrees. So it means that y is 30 degrees. So we have been able to find the value of x and y to be 35 degrees and 30 degrees. So that is the first part of the question. The question number B says that we should find angle ABC. A, B, then C. And we are looking for this angle that is here. We are looking for this angle here. How do we find that? Now it's very simple as well. We can see that this also is a quadrilateral. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a quadrilateral. So and we know that when it comes to any quadrilateral, the sum of the interior angle of a quadrilateral is 360 degrees. Pardon me. The sum of the interior angle of any quadrilateral, be it rectangle, be it squared, be it trapezium, parallelogram, the sum of the quadrilateral is 360 degrees. I hope you understand that now. Now, if that should be the case now, uh, we are giving this angle here as 55s minus 35. We know this angle as 40. We know this angle here as 2s plus 40. And we already know the value of our x, so that means we have no problem about getting this angle. So this angle here, angle ABC plus 5s minus 35, then plus angle 40 plus 2s plus 40 should give us what? 360 degrees, sum of angles in quadrilateral. Then if that should be the case, now we can simplify that for the angle ABC, which is what we are looking for. Then we have 5x plus 2s will give us 7x. 40 minus 35 will give us 5, plus 40 will give us 45. Then we can now, that what we are having here, then we can now collect like times again. Take 45 to the other side, we have 360 minus 45, then minus 7x as well. So which will give us angle ABC. So 360 minus 45 minus 7 into what's our x? Our x here is 35. Simply put that there. So we have 360 minus 45 minus 245. When you multiply this by this, then if you sum everything together, that means your angle ABC is 70 degrees. So this angle ABC here is 70 degrees, and that is the solution to that question number 4. That is also 8 mark also. So we are moving to question number 5 right now, and the question number 5 is on trigonometric ratio. Of course, that question number 5 has two parts: question number 5A and question number 5B. The 5A is on trigonometric ratio. Trigonometric ratio of special angle, angle 30 degrees and angle 45 degrees. We are given that M is tan 30 degrees and N is tan 45 degrees. Simplify without using calculator. M minus N over Mn, leaving the answer in the form of P plus sod Q. So that's the question number 5A there. Now this we can solve. Since the question says we should not use calculator, that means we need to use a trigonometric ratio of special angle. And that's what I put in the diagram here. We can get trigonometric ratio of angle 30 degrees here using this diagram. And we can get trigonometric ratio of 45 using this diagram. So what is tan 30 degrees? Tan is twa, opposite over adjacent. This angle 30 here, opposite over adjacent. That will be 1 over sod 3. Tan 30 is 1 over sod 3. Also, tan 45. Tan 45 is 1. Opposite over adjacent, that's 1 over 1. That will give us 1 also. So we have to simplify M minus N over Mn. What is M? M is tan 30, which is 1 over sod 3. And minus what's N? N is tan 45, which is 1. That means you're having minus 1 here over Mn. M is 1 over sod 3 times 1. If you simplify that further, we can see that we are having 1 over sod 3 here, and it is not allowed for our fraction for the denominator of a fraction to be in sod form. That means you can do something to this. You can rationalize this sod. And how do we rationalize? This sod will multiply up and down. Sod 3 will multiply up and down. So sod 3 times 1 will give us sod 3. Then sod 3 times sod 3 here will give us 3. Then minus this 1 that is here. Over 1 over sod 3 times 1 will give us 1 over sod 3. Also, what can we do from here? We can see that this is division. We can write it like this. And also, you can find the LCM here. What's the LCM of the numerator here? Which is 3. 3 in 3 will give us 1. Then 1 times sod 3 will give us sod 3. Then minus 1 in 3 will give us 3. Then 3 times minus 1 will give us minus 3 here. Then divided by, which this division here, which is what I will write here, over divided by 1 over sod 3. Then this division sign can change to times. This one go down, this one come up. So we have this. Then this sort 3 now can multiply everything here. And we say that sort 3 times sort 3 will give us 3, which is what we are having here. Then sort 3 times minus 3 will give us minus 3 sort 3. So we can see that something is common to this numerator, which is 3. So we can factorize that 3 out. We have 3 into 1 minus sort 3, then over 3. Then 3 can take care of this 3. We have 1 minus sort 3 as the value of m minus n over mn. So that's the solution for the question number 5a of WAEC General Mathematics 2022 question, the theory part of the question. Now we are going to question number 5b now, which is on word problem as well. Sorry, probability rather. The question is on probability. This question is from on probability. There are 20 women in a bus, and this question we can solve using Venn diagram also. There are 20 women in a bus. 15 of them wear glasses, 10 wear wristwatches. If a woman is chosen at random from the bus, find the probability that she wears both glasses and wristwatch. Probability that she wear both glasses and wristwatch. That's the intersection between glasses and wristwatch. So 20 women are involved. That is the universal set. 20 women. Then 15 of them wear glasses. So number of elements in set G, which is glasses, is 15, and then wear wristwatch. So number of elements in wristwatch is 10. 10 people are involved. 10 people wear wristwatch. Then 15 people wear glasses. So where are we? So we don't know how many people wear both the two gadgets, but we are told that we have to find the probability that that the person pick at random wear both gadgets. So that means there is intersection between glasses and wristwatch. Then so since we don't know the intersection between them, you can call it X. So that's why you're having this circle to represent glasses, this circle to represent wristwatches. So intersection between them is X. Then how can we find glasses only? That will be 15 minus the intersection between them. And how can you find the wristwatches only? That will be 10 minus X. Then everything, the union of these sets, these two sets should give us 20. So that we're having 20 equals to 15 minus x plus x plus 10 minus x. Then minus we take care of this. Sorry, minus x we take care of plus x here. That means we have 15 plus 10 left, 25 minus x. Collect like times 20 minus 25 will give us minus x. Then 20 minus 25 will give us minus 5 equals to minus x. The variables are by minus, that will give us s to be 5. So that means people that wore the two gadgets, the glasses and the wristwatch, have together are 5 in numbers. And that's probability we have to find. We have to find the probability that the person picked at random wore both glasses and a wristwatch. So how many people wore glasses and wristwatch? They are 5 in number. So out of them, one person is selected. So that means probability of that is 5 out of what? 20. 20 is the total people involved, which is total outcome is 20, and the favorable outcome is 5. So that means you had probability to be 5 over 20, and that will give us 1 over 4. So, and that is the solution to that question number 5b. We have just completed the compulsory part of the theory part of WAEC 2022, which give us 40 mark in total for the compulsory part, because each question carry 8 mark. Now let's go to the optional part, which is the question number 6 now. You are going to check. So if you have not, you have been following up from the beginning, you can like, share the video, comment on it, and help us to promote this platform by sharing it on your what's it called, the social media, and everywhere you belongs to on the internet. Please can help us promote this YouTube channel by sharing the video, sharing the YouTube channel, and as you do so, may the good Lord bless you. So let's jump to question number 6. Question number 6 is what you are seeing on the screen right now, and the question is on quadratic graph and a linear graph. So the question is on graph. You're having quadratic graph, which is what give us this N shape, and you're having a linear graph, which is what give us this straight line. So we are given a prepared graph to now interpret it. You are given a prepared graph to now interpret the graph. Then how do we do that? Now that we know that the equation that can give us this curve is quadratic equation. Likewise, the equation that can give us this straight line is linear equation as well. Then let's read what this question says. The graph shows the relations of the form y equals to ms squared plus nx plus r, where m, n and r are constant. So of course you can see that this is a quadratic equation where y is the dependent variable and s is the independent variable, and m, n, r are constants. So you have to use the graph to state the scale used on both axes. That's the first question we asked in this question. Excuse me. You have to state the scale that is being used for this question. Of course, it's very, very obvious. This graph is a standard WAEC standard graph. So on the x-axis, we're having from year to year to be 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and 6 to 8. You can see that 2 centimeter represent 2 units on the x-axis. 2 centimeter represent what? 2 units on the x-axis. Also on the y-axis, you can see that from here to here is 2 centimeter, and we are having 10 there. So also from here to here is 2 centimeter, having minus 10. Another 2 units, another 2 centimeter, you're having minus 20. Another 2 centimeter, you're having minus 30. Another 2 centimeter, you're having minus 40 and minus 50. So that means on the y-axis, 2 centimeter represents 10 units, and that's what you're having there. So if you're able to do this correctly, you have scores for that only. Now also, question number B, you have to find the values of m, n, and r from this quadratic equation. They want to know the values of m, the value of n, the value of r from this quadratic equation. And how can we get that done? It's very simple as well. We can see that this quadratic equation here, this curve, which represent quadratic equation. Now we can see the point where this curve cut the x-axis. It cut it at this minus 2, and it's also cut it at this s is equal to 4. This curve, which represents a quadratic equation, cut the x-axis. That is, this curve called the x-axis as s is equal to minus 2 and s is equal to 4. So we can now use that to get the quadratic equation that represent this this curve. We can use these two roots to get the quadratic equation that represents this curve, knowing fully well that s is equals to minus 2 here and s is equals to 4. So s equals to minus 2, s equals to 4. Then take this minus 2 to the other side, we have s equals to s plus 2 equals to 0. Take this 4 to the other side, we have s minus 4 is equal to 0 as well. So this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. That means the product of both of them are equal to 0. S plus 2 multiplied by s minus 4 equals to 0. You can expand the bracket. S times L will give us s squared. S times minus 4 will give us minus 4x. S times 2 will give us 2s. 2 times minus 4 will give us minus 8 equals to 0. Collect like times, we have s squared minus 4s plus 2 will give us minus 2x minus 8 equals to 0. So this is quadratic equation, but this quadratic equation has to have the dependent variable y. And how do we get that? When you move everything here to the other side, you'll be having y equals to 8 plus 2s minus s squared, which will now look like this quadratic equation we are having here, where we have to find our m, n, and r. Now you can now compare the two equations. Now discover that in this case our constant 8, this constant here, which is 8, will be equal to r. That means our r is 8. The coefficient of x here is n, and the coefficient of x here is 2. That means our n will be what? 2. Also, coefficient of m squared here is m. And the coefficient of s squared here is -1. Therefore, our m will also be what? -1. So that's the value of our m, our n, and our r. Also, the question said that in the question number C there, find the gradient of the line through point P and Q. So we can find the gradient of this line, this straight line here, this linear graph here. You can find the gradient. We have to find it at point P and point Q. How do we do that? You can get the coordinates of this point P and coordinate of point Q, or you can make a triangle with this straight line at point P to point Q, then find the change in y over change in s. That will give us the gradient. Or better still, you can know the coordinate of point P here. Point P here is on the y-axis. You know the value, which is on the y-axis. Point P is -27. If you read the graph very well, and the point P on the x-axis, the value of point P on the x-axis is -5, which is what you're having here. Also, the value of point Q, the value of x on point Q is 3, and the value of the value of y of point P is 5, around here 5. So now that we know the coordinate of P and Q, the gradient will be change in y over change in x, which is y2 minus y1 over s2 minus s1, and that will give us 5 plus 2x. Sorry, 5 plus 27s over 3 plus 5. 5 plus 27 will give us 32 over 8. 32 divided by 8 will give us 4. So that means the gradient of this straight line at point P and Q is 4. The last question there we say that state the range of values of x for which y is greater than 0. State the range of values of x for which y is greater than 0. That is inequalities now. We have to state the range of values of x that where y is greater than 0. You can see that at this point, from this point upward, y is greater than 0. From here now upward, y is greater than 0. So the corresponding values of x where y greater than 0 is all the value of s from here to this for here inside the this curve, from -2 to what? To +4. That is where s is greater and y is greater than what? 0. So that means we have the range of value to be x such that -2 is less than x is less than what? 4. So from -2 to what? To +4. That is where y is greater than what? 0. So that is the solution to that question number 6. And that question will give us 12 mark. If you are able to interpret it correctly, it's going to give us 12 mark if you're able to interpret it correctly. Let's go to question number 7. Question number 7a is on profit and loss. Question number 7a is on profit and loss. And the question says that a man purchased 180 copies of a book at 250 naira each. A man purchased 180 copies of a book at 250 naira each. He sold y copies at 300 naira each, and the rest at a discount of 5 kobo in naira of the cost price. That is, he sold the rest at a discount of 5 kobo in naira of the cost price. Full stop. If he made a profit of 7,000 naira, 7,125 naira, find the value of x. The question, as I said earlier, is on profit and loss, and let's see how we can do that. A man purchased 180 copies of book at 250 naira each. So if he purchased 180 book and the cost of one book is 250 naira, now the cost of a book is 250 naira, and he purchased 180 books, so we can find the total cost of all the 180 books. So it's by multiplying the 180 book by a unit cost, the cost of one book. So that will give us 180 times 250, and that means the person spent 45,000 naira buying all the 180 books. So the cost of purchasing 180 book is 45,000 naira. Good. Let's move on. He sold Y copies at 300 naira. That means the cost of selling one copy is 300 naira. Unit selling price is 300 naira. Then if for selling one copy is 300 naira, then we are told that he sold Y copies. He sold Y copies at 300 naira each. So what will now be the cost of Y copies that he sold? That will be the selling price of one unit of one of the units, uh the cost of selling one book multiplied by number of book is sold, and we are told that he sold Y copies. So that means 300 times Y will give us the price, the selling price of the Y copy he sold, which will give us 300 Y naira for the Y copies. So don't forget he has 180 copies and he has already sold Y copies now. Then let's move on to the question. And the rest at discounts of 5 kobo. What is the rest of the copy that you have left after selling Y copies? How do we get the rest of the copies? That will be 180, which is the total number of copies he bought, minus what? Y. That will give us the rest of the copies that he has. This rest of the copies now, he now sold it at 5 discount of 5 kobo in naira of the cost price. What is the cost price? Cost price is the 250. So he sold the rest, which is 180 minus Y, uh, at a discount of 5 kobo. 5 kobo from 1 naira will give us 95 kobo left. And this 95 kobo now, you now convert it to naira, divide it by 100, then times the cost price of the cost price. We have told you what's the cost price? 250. And that's what you have, that's what give for what you are having here. And this is the selling price of the rest of the book after you might have sold Y copies. Now therefore now you can now know the total selling price. This is the selling price for Y copies, and this is the selling price for the rest of the copies. So that means the selling price of all the copies now will now be 300 Y plus whatever we get here, and that's what we are having here. And if you now simplify that further, if you simplify this one, we have 237.5, which will now multiply these brackets. And if you open the bracket, 237.5 multiplied by 180, that will give us 42,750. Then minus 237.5 Y. Then from there, this plus we can remove this from this. We can collect lifetime 300 minus 237.5 Y. You can subtract them because this is having Y, this is also having Y, so we can subtract them, can collect lifetimes. So 300 Y minus 237.5 Y will give us 62.5 Y plus 42,750. So that everything here, this is the selling price. Then if you continue, if he made a profit of 7,125 naira, what is profit? Profit is the selling price minus cost price, and the selling price is 62.5 Y plus 42,750. Then minus the cost price. What's cost price? Cost price is 250. Sorry, pardon me. Cost price is the 45,000 that we have here, which is 45,000. Then from there we can collect like times 42,750 minus 45,000 will give us minus 2,250. Then if you now collect like times, that means take this one to the other side, that means be having 62.5 Y left equals to 7,125 plus 2,250, which if you add this together will give us 9,375. Then if you divide both sides by 62.5, that will give us Y to be equals to 150. So the value of Y, as you have been asked to find it, is 150. So that's the solution to that question number 7A on profit and loss. Let's go to question number 7B. Question number 7B is also on profit and loss, percentage profit. Profit. So it's quite simple as well, and quite related to the one we just solved now on question number 7B. A trader bought X bags of rice at a cost of this equation given to us. This equation is representing the cost price of the rice he bought. So we are told that a trader bought X bag of rice at the cost of, this is the cost, C equals to 24x plus 103, and sold them at price, this is the selling price. This equation represents the selling price. S is equals to 33x minus S squared over 20. So now equation 1 said that find the expression for the profit. We have to find the expression for the profit. And what is profit? Profit is the selling price minus what? The cost price. So profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. What is the selling price? 33s minus s squared over 2. And what is the cost price? Which is 24 plus 103 in brackets. So this minus will now open the bracket for us. Then we have minus 224x minus times plus will give us minus 103. Then from there we can collect like times. 33s minus 24s will give us 9x. Will give us 9x, then minus s squared over 20 minus 10x. So this is the expression for the profit. This is the expression for the profit as you have been asked to find. Then Roman figure 2. If 20 bags of rice were sold, if 20 bags of rice were sold, so if you know that 20 bag of rice were sold, that means you can know the cost price of the 20 bag of rice by putting 20 in place of x here and simplify. That will give us the cost price. And if 20 bags were sold also, we can also know the selling price of the 20 bags by putting our x here, simplify. That will give us the selling price. And by so doing, you can get the profit, percentage profit, by calculating the profit first, then now put it in percentage. And that's what we do here, that the cost will be 24 into 20 bags of rice plus 103, and that will give us 583 that will give us 583 as the cost price. Then the selling price also, if you put our 20 here, that means we having 33 into 20 minus 20 squared over 20, and that will give us this one will give us 660. Then 20 we take care of 20 here, that means you have 20 left. Then that will give us 640. That's the selling price. Then from there you can find the percentage profit by finding profit first divided by cost price multiplied by 100. So what is the profit? The profit is selling price minus cost price, which is 640 minus 583 divided by cost price, which is 583 times 100. And if you simplify that further, that will give us 9.78% of the percentage profit. So that is the solution to question number 7 also. And we have just completed that one also, and that will give us 12 marks as well. So viewers, don't forget we are solving WAEC 2022, the theory, the WAEC general mathematics question, the theory part. And we are on question number 7 right now, which is what we just solved right now. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button right now. And if you have children, you can share the videos on social media, on Facebook, on the Twitter, on your media, whatever you belongs to help us to promote this YouTube channel, so that whenever we post video, you be the first person to see the video. Now let's move to question number 8. Question number 8 is on a statistic. It's on statistics, and that's what we want to solve right now. We are having on this table items, foods and drink, fuel, rent, building project, education, savings, and a percentage. 35 on food and drinks, 7.5 on fuel, 10 on rent, 15% on building projects, 70.5 on education, and X on savings. So that means we don't know the percentage of the what's it called, the salary spent on savings. So we are going by the table shows the monthly expenditure in percentage of Mr. account for salary. Percentage. That means everything should add up to what? 100%. Now everything should add up to 100%. So since the monthly expenditure is on percentage, so all the expenditure should be should add up to 100%. So we have to calculate the percentage of Mr. account for salary that was put into savings. So they want us to find the value of x here. That was the amount put into saving. So, and from the question, we will do that very soon now. So, okay, let's even do that now. So we have to calculate Mr. Oka for salary that was put into saving. Like I said earlier, all the savings is in percentage, which means that everything add up to 100%. So, and if you add everything together equals to 100, you can find our x. So, and that's what we did here, that 35 plus 7.5 plus 10 plus 15 plus 17.5 plus s will give us 100%. And if you add this together, we have 85 plus s equals to 100. Then s will be equals to 100 minus 85, that will give us 15%. So it is 15% of the expenditure that is spent on, that is saved, that was saved. So that is value of our x, 15%. Now, if you look at the next question, illustrate this the information on a pie chart. So they want us to construct a pie chart using this information. And before we can represent this information on pie chart, we need to first of all get the sectorial angles for each item. We have to get the sectorial angle for each item, because without the sectorial angles, we will not be able to represent this information on the pie chart. So that's why we construct this table. We have the items, the percentage, like you have it here, and their the values also, which everything add up to 100, because you have already gotten the values, or the percentage saved, which is 15. Then you cannot convert each percentage to sectorial angle by saying the percentage divided by the total percentage multiplied by 360, which is sum of angle in a circle. So we have 35 over 100 times 360, and that will give us 126 degrees. 7.5 divided by 100 times 360, that gives us 27 degrees. 10 divided by 100 times 360 degrees will give us 36 degrees. 15 divided by 100 times 360 degrees will give us 54 degrees as well. 17.5 over 100 times 360 degrees will give us 63 degrees. Then 15 divided by 100 times 360 degrees will give us 54 degrees. And then when you add all these sectorial angles together, it should give us 360 degrees. So we have been able to convert each percentage into sectorial angle. Then when we have that, we can now draw the pie chart. And how do we draw the pie chart? Now, when you draw your circle using your compass, don't use the cover of bottle, something circular, to draw the circle. No, that will not give you the center of the circle. But rather use compass to draw the circle. That pin of the compass will tell you where the center is. Then how do you go about it? Take a ruler and draw a diameter. Draw a diameter here. Divide the circle into two equal halves. Then after you might have done that, then take your protractor. Then place your protractor on that diameter, and whether you are going clockwise or anti-clockwise, it's your choice. But in this case, I think we go clockwise. Measure the first angle 126 degrees. So when you measure angle 126 degrees from this line, it will stop here. So 126 degrees, which is for food and drinks. Then when you now draw this line, you can now clean the rest of the radius of the remaining radius from here to here. You can clean it with your eraser. So when you now clean it now, that means this now will not be the origin for the next one you are going to measure, for the next angle you are going to measure. So adjust your protractor and make this new line the origin. You can now measure angle 27 degrees, so which is for fuel. Then this new line also will not be the new beginning for the new angle you want to measure. So we mistakenly measure angle 54 degrees instead of 36 degrees. No problem with that. You can still measure this one later. So when you measure 54 degrees, which is for building project, then that means this new line now will not be the new origin to measure the second angle. So measure rent, which is 36 degrees. So this new line now will not be new origin for to measure the second angle, which is angle 63 degrees. When you measure that as well, that one stop here as well. and this new line now will now be the origin to measure the last angle, which is 54 degrees. So when you measure everything correctly there, you don't need to measure this last one because it's going to give you a perfect angle there, which is 54 degrees for savings. So this is the pie chart. This is the pictorial representation of the pie chart you are meant to construct for this question number 8B here. Now question number 8C says that if Mr. Okanfor annual gross salary is $28,800 and he pays tax of $12, we are to calculate his monthly in tax and amount saved each month. Now the gross tax is $28,800. So and if he pays tax of 12%, so what is the 12% of $28,800? So that will give us 12 over 100 times $28,800, and that will give us 3,456 as the gross tax he pays for the whole 12 months. Now, if he paid this tax for the whole 12 months, then we should be able to know the tax he paid for in a month, is monthly tax. So how do we get that? Is by dividing the total tax he paid for in a whole year by 12, and that will give us the tax he paid monthly, and that means he will pay $288 per month as the monthly tax. Then amount saved each month. Now amount saved each month. Now, of course, now you know that when you are being paid a salary, they will remove tax from it, and the money paid after they might have removed tax from it is the net salary. The monthly, the money paid after your salary has been removed from your salary is the net salary. So how do we get the monthly net salary if we know that this is the tax he pays on monthly basis? So how do we know the monthly the net salary for each month? Now if he is paid this month as gross salary annually, that is in a year, then he paid this tax in a year as well. That means you can know the total amount is going to have at net salary as the total salary for that year. Then that will be this minus this. Then to know for 1 month, that will divide it by 12. So that means the monthly net salary will be 2,112 dollars. That's the amount is going to make as the net salary in a month. Then if this is what he made in a month, then the amount is he saved each month is 15%. He saved 15% each month, as you have seen here. He saved 15% of his salary for 15% of his salary. So that means 15% of this amount he made in a month is going to be saved. So 15 over 100 times 2,112 will give us $3,016 $80. So it's going to save this amount of money on a monthly basis. So that is uh the solution to question number 8. As we have seen briefly, that you can see that it's very simple as well and straightforward. Don't forget we are solving WAEC general mathematics question, the theory part, and we have solved the objective part in the previous video. Please check the playlist to check the objective part, how we solve this systematically. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please click on subscribe button immediately. Share the video on the platform, social media, so as to encourage the young ones that need this information to be able to see it. And whenever we post information, you will be the first person to see as well. Comment and like the video. As we move to question number 9. Question number 9 is also on graph, and it's on trigonometric graph as well. Question number 9 is on trigonometric graph, and the question said that we have to copy and complete the table of values y is equals to 3 sine x plus 7 cos x for 0 degrees less than or equals to x less than or equals to 180. So you are given this table. The x is angles ranging from 0 degrees to 180 degrees, and we have to find the corresponding values of y. already giving this value as 7.0, 4.2, and minus 0.9. So we have to fill in all these gaps. So now after doing that, you cannot draw the graph. What do you do first? How do we complete the table? We have been given the equation of this to use to complete this table. Y is equal to 3 sine x plus 7 cos x. So where your x here are the angles given to us here. So for the first one, when your s is equal to 0, put your 0 here. That means you're having 3 sine 0 plus 7 cos 0. If you input that in your calculator will give you 7.0 as the answer to one decimal place. Also, when your s is 20, put 20 here. You have 3 sine 20 plus 7 cos 20. When your calculator will give you answer to that as well, you'll be having 7.66 something. Then you can take it to one decimal place. That'll give us 7.6. When your s is 40 as well, put it 3 sine 40 plus 7 cos 40. Input that in calculator as well. Calculator will give you 7.3 something, which cannot take to 7.3 as one decimal place, because you are meant to put all your answer in the same number of decimal places. Also, when your s is 60, you have 3 sine 60 plus 7 cos 60 as well. Impute that. That will give us 6.1 as the value of the corresponding value of y. When you have been given y, well, this value for s is equal to 80 degrees. Then when s is equal to 100 degrees as well, put that here. You have 3 sine 100 plus 7 cos 100, and that will give us a value of y to be 1.7. Then when s is 120, you have been given the value of y. Also, when s is 140, you have 3 sine 140 plus 7 cos 140, and that also will give us minus 3.4 as the value of y to one decimal place. When s is 160 degrees, you have 3 sine 160 plus 7 cos 160, and that will give us minus 5.6 as the value. And the last one, when s is 180, you have 3 sine 180 plus 7 cos 180, and that will give us minus 7.0, which is the last value we have to find to complete this table. So if you are able to complete each and every one of them correctly, you have mark assigned for each question, each one you have been able to provide successfully. Then question number B says that use a scale of 2 centimeter to 20 degrees on the x-axis and 2 centimeter to 2 units on the y-axis. Draw the graph of this relation. Y is equal to 3 sine x plus 7 cos x for the value of x from 0 degrees to 180 degrees. So that's what you have to do, and this is the graph. If you are able to scale your graph according to the scale given, you have something like this. On the y-axis, you are having 2 centimeters to represent 2 units. On the y-axis, you are having 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6, minus 8. Also on the x-axis, we are told that 2 centimeters represent what? 20 degrees. 0, 20, 40, 60 degrees, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. So we have been able to scale the graph according to the scale given to us. We can now start plotting, and we should know what one broken line will represent on the x-axis and what one broken line will also represent on the y-axis and on the x-axis as well. So that means one broken line on the x-axis will be 2. If 2 centimeters represent 20 units, 20 degrees rather. So to know one line, that means 20 divided by 10 line that is there, that give us 2. Also, one line on the y-axis will give us uh 0.2, because 10 broken line represent 2 units. That means 2 divided by 10 will give us 0.2 as well. We know this so that so that we can easily plot our graph successfully without any hindrances, when we know fully well one broken line on the y-axis and one broken line on the x-axis. Let's start plotting. When s is 0 and y is 7.0, s is 0, that is on y-axis, then y is 7, which is this point, because this is 6, that means the middle is 7. Then when x is 20 degrees, which is here, then our y is 7.6, that means going up. 7.6, one line is 0.2, so that means you have 7, 7.2, 7.4, 7.6. That's where is it. Then when S is 40 degrees, Y is 7.3. That means coming down. So this is 7, 7.2. Uh, sorry, where are we? This is 7, 7.2, 7.3. Sorry, excuse me. Supposed to this is this one. This 7, 7.2, then 7.3 is to be at the middle there. So when our S is 60 degrees, our Y is 6.1. So we have this is C, this is 6. Then 6.1 should be the middle of 6 and 6.2. Then when our S is 80 degrees, we have our Y to be 4.2. 80 degrees is 4. Then the next line is 4.2. Then when our S is 100 degrees, our Y is 1.7. This is 1 year. 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, 1.7 should be at the middle of 1.6 and 1.8. Then when our S is 140 degrees, our Y is minus 3y. That means it's coming down now. It's coming down. Minus sorry, when our S is 120, our S is minus 0.9. Minus 0.9. So this our S is 120 here. Then 0.9 should be 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. 0.9 should be in between 0.8 and 1. So don't forget this minus now. We are in the negative part of y. Then when our S is 140, our y is minus 3.1, 3.4. So when our S is 140, our y is minus 3.4. So this is minus 3.2.4, and that is correct. So when our S is 160 degrees, which is here, our Y is minus 5.6. This is minus 4. This is minus 4 rather, and this is minus 5.6, 0.2, 0.3, sorry, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6 rather. So which is this point. So when our S is 180, our Y is minus 7 degrees. Our Y is minus 7 rather. Then from there, that means this is 180 here. Our at this point this is a minus 7. So and that is that. So we can now join these points together, which will give us a curve. It will give us a curve, and that's what you are having here. And that is the graph of that equation given to us. So question number C now, using the graph, find the value of y when x is 150 degrees. Pardon me. Have to find the value of x when s is 150 degrees. Don't forget that s represent the angles. So where is 150 degrees for x? At this point, this is 140, and this is 160. So that means 150 should be here, because we know that 2 centimeters represent 20 degrees here. That means one broken line will be 2. So this is 120. Sorry, 140. 2, 4, 6, 8, then 10. 10 plus 140 will give us 150. So that means this is the point. So what do? I will take my ruler and join and draw a straight line so that I can touch this curve. Then because we are looking for the corresponding value of y, so I will trace it to the y axis, which is with a broken line, and that what we are having here. We can now rate the values of y on this y axis, and we know that one line on the y-axis represents 0.2. So that means we have a 0 minus 4.2 minus 4.4 minus 4.6. So that you're having minus 4.6. This is plus or minus 0.2. In case your hand you didn't get your graph very well, it will fall within the range. But the answer is minus 4.6. So, and the last question says that we have to find the range of values of s for which y is greater than 0. At this point in time, from here upward to this curve, y is greater than what? 0. From here upward, y is greater than what? 0. So every value that is inside this curve here up to this present moment before it starts coming down is where the y is greater than 0. And what is the corresponding value of x? You can see that x ranges from 0 to, if you read it carefully, you'll be having this is 110, then 100 and sorry, this 100, this 110, and we know that one line is 2 on the x-axis. So 110, 112, 114. So around 113 and 114, that's what you're having here, and that's why you're having it to be from 0 degrees to 113 degrees. So that is the corresponding value of x when y is greater than what? 0. So that is the solution to that question number 9, and that's another 12 mark for us. Now let's quickly move to question number 10, and question number 10 is on statistics as well. Question number 10 is on statistics, and it's on the measure of dispersion. Measure of dispersion is question number 10. We have 3 questions to go. So question number 10 says that we have ages in years, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are the ages. This is a group data now, and we have a number of children with their ages. So two children have age of 3, 6 children 4, 5 children 5 years, X children 6, 6 children 7, 9 children 8, 8 children 9, then 5 children are 10 years old. Let's go on. The table shows the distribution of ages of number of children in school. If the mean of the distribution is 7, then we can use that to find the value of x. So this is a group data, and you are now asked to, you have been given the mean of the distribution to be 7. So we can use that to find the value of this x here, so that we can know the number of children that are here. So the question is, how do you find the mean of a group data? How do we find the mean of a group data? Mean, which is s bar, same thing as summation fx over summation f. Summation fs over summation f. Knowing fully well that this is our x and this is our what? Frequency f. So if you tabulate that very well, we have our ages to be our x, and our f is the frequency, number of children. So from the formula for finding mean, summation fx, so that means we need to get our fx. So that means x multiplied by f, and that will give us fs. 3 times 2 give us 6, 4 times 6, 24, 12 times 5 will give us 25, 6 times s will give us 6s, 7 times 6 is 42, 8 times 9 is 72, 9 times 8 is 72, 10 times 5 will give us 50. So summation of it, that means sum this fs together, and if you sum it together, that will give us 291 plus 6x over summation f. Also, if you sum f together, also you have 41 plus x. So that is what we put into this equation, and we have 291 plus 6s over 41 plus x. You have already been given the mean, which is 7. So the mean is 7. From there you can cross multiply. 7 will multiply 41 plus x equals to 291 plus 6x. Open the bracket. 7 times 41 will give us 287. 7 times f will give us 7x equals to 291 plus 6x. We can collect like times 2. You can collect like time as well. 289 minus 2. Sorry. So 7s, you can take this 6s to the other side. You have 7s minus 6s equals to 291. Then this comes here. That means you have minus 270, 287. Then if you 7s minus 6s will give us x equals to 291 minus 287 will give us 4. So that means the value of x here is 4. So number of children that are here are 4 in numbers. So if our s is 4, that means you can know the total frequency here. That will be 41 plus 4, and that will give us 50. That means you have 50 children involved here. So, and that is that. Total frequency is 50. Then let's go to the second question, which is question number 10b. You have to find the standard deviation of their ages. Standard deviation of their what? Ages. And what is standard deviation? Standard deviation is the square root of summation f into fx minus x bar all squared over summation f. Standard deviation is square root of variance. Square root of variance, which is the summation f into x minus x bar squared over summation f, where s bar is the mean and the s minus s bar is the deviation. So we can compute this in the table here. We already have our x, we already have our f. and which is 45 altogether. So we can find x minus x bar when we already know that our mean, which is 7. So if you don't know our mean, that means we need to find our mean before you can find deviation. So, but we already know our mean because you have been given that it is what, 7. So you can now find x minus x bar. So remove your x from the mean. So that means I'll be having 3 minus 7, and that'll give us minus 4. 4 minus 7, that'll give us minus 3. 5 minus 7 will give us minus 2. 6 minus 7 will give us minus 1. 7 minus 7 will give us 0. 8 minus 7 will give us 1. 9 minus 7 will give us 2. 10 minus 7 will give us 3. So from there now, you can now square this deviation s minus s bar squared. Whatever we get here, we can square it. And that will be minus 16 square, minus 4 square will give us 16. Minus 3 square will give us 9. Minus 2 square will give us 4. Minus 1 square will give us 1. And so on. Then from there now, the frequency will multiply s minus s bar squared. This frequency here will multiply this s minus s bar squared. That may be having 2 times 16, that give us 32. 6 times 9 will give us 54. 5 times 4 will give us 20. 4 times 1 will give us 4. 6 times 0 will give us 0. 9 times 1 will give us 9. 8 times 4 will give us 32. 5 times 9 will give us 45. Then we have to sum that together. Sum f into s bar minus s bar squared. That is this column you have here summing together. And when you sum it together, that will give us 196. Then put that into this formula. I have square root of 196 over summation f, which is 45. And when you simplify that further, that will give us 2.087 if you approximate it to 3 decimal places. So that's question number 10, still on statistics. So also, if you're able to solve that one as well, we have 12 mark in that question number 10. So we are moving to question number 11 right now. And viewers, please don't forget that we are solving WAEC General Mathematics question 2022. We have already solved the objective part and it's in the playlist of this video. You can check it out. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please click the subscribe button. Help us to promote this video by sharing in it on your platform, wherever you belong to, and give it to your children to go through it so that they can see how WAEC questions are being solved in preparation for the next coming WAEC. Question number 11 now is what we want to talk about. Question number 11a says that the exterior angles of a polygon are 42 degrees, 38 degrees, 57 degrees, s degrees, s plus y degrees, 2s minus 15 degrees, and 3s minus y degrees. Full stop. If x is 7 degrees less than y, if x is 7 degrees less than y, find the value of x and y. The question is on polygon and also word problem. Now we will start from the list, this last one. If x is 7 degrees less than y, if, let's interpret that one again. If x is 7 degrees less than y, that means if I remove x from y, I'm supposed to get 7. That's the interpretation to that. I hope you understand what I've just said now. If I remove this s from y, I should get what? 7 degrees, because s is 7 degrees less than y. So that means we have y minus s equal to 7 degrees. You can call that one equation 1. Also, all these angles given to us are exterior angles of polygon. And if we sum it together, it should give us something. We know that the sum of exterior angle of regular polygon, the sum of the exterior angles of regular polygon is 360 degrees. That is, when I add all the exterior angle of regular polygons together, then it should give me what? 360 degrees. So that's what we did here. We added all the exterior angle given to us here up to this level together, and that will now give us 360 degrees. And if you add or if you collect like times 42 plus 38 plus 57 minus 15, then that will give us 122. Then s plus x will give us s plus 2s will give us plus 3s will give us 7x. Then y minus y will give us 0 equals to 360 degrees. Then from there we can collect like times 7s equals to 360 minus 122. Then that'll give us 238. Then we can divide both sides by 7, and that'll give us the value of x. So s is equals to 34 degrees. So when our s is 34 degrees, we can find the value of y. So when I put my x here, I'll be having y minus 34 equals to 7. Then y will be equals to collect like time with 7 plus 34, and that gives us 41 degrees. So y is 41 degrees. So those are the values of, that's the value of x and y, 34 degrees and 41 degrees. Let's go to question number 7b, which is on circle geometry. Question number 7b is also on circle geometry. It's on circle geometry. So question says that in the diagram, O is the center of the circle x, y, z. Circle x, y, z. Angle ZXO. Angle ZXO is 34 degrees. That means this angle here is 34 degrees. And angle XOY. Angle XXOY, which is this angle here, is 146 degrees. Find angle OYZ. OYZ. This is angle here. You want to find this angle that is here. So how do we do that? It's very simple as well. Now if you look at this triangle XZO, this triangle that is here, it is called that there is an isosceles triangle. How? OX is radius, OZ is also what? Radius. So that made this triangle XZO isosceles triangle, which you agree with me. So if that should be the case now, we know that when it comes to isosceles triangle, base angles are equal. Base angle of isosceles triangles are equal. And where are the base angles? This angle OXZ, angle OXZ, or SZOXO, ZXO is equals to angle XZO. This angle 34 degrees here is equal to this angle as well, which is also 34, raising base angle of isosceles triangle. Then if this is equals to this, then we can find this angle here, this angle that is here, is the third angle of that triangle, which is angle XOZ, because the addition of the three angles should give us 180 degrees, sum of angle in a triangle. Since you already know this was 34 and this 34, so you can find this angle that is here. So that will give us 180 plus the addition of this one, sorry, minus addition of these two angles. So 34 plus 34 will give us 68. Then that means 180 minus 68 will give us 112 degrees. So this angle here is 112 degrees. Angle XOZ is 112 degrees. Then if that should be the case now, we know that this angle 146 degrees, this angle that we just got 112, and this third angle here inside the second triangle should add up to what? 360 degrees, raising angle at a point. So this plus this should add up to 360 degrees, angle at a point. So we already know this as 112, and we know this angle as 146 degrees. Then we can find this third angle. So, and that will give us a angle YOZ will be 360 degrees minus this plus this. And that's what we're having here, that 146 plus 112 plus angle YOZ equals 360 degrees, angle at a point. Collect light time 146 plus 112. Then that will give us a 258. Then remove 258 from 360, that will give us 112. So that means this angle here is 112 degrees. Also, triangle YZO is an isosceles triangle as well. This second triangle also is an isosceles triangle. Y. This OY is a radius. OZ is also a radius. So that means two sides are equal for this triangle also. And that's an isosceles triangle. And we know that the base angle of isosceles triangle are equal. So that means this angle here is equal to this angle that is here as well. But we have already gotten this angle here as a 1 and 2. So how do we now get these two angles which are equal? If you remove this angle from 180 degrees, sum of angle in a triangle, then whatever we get, we now divide it by 2. That will give us this angle and this angle. So that's why you're having here that we have a angle OYZ that we have to find, which is this angle, which is going to be equal to 180 degrees minus whatever we have here, then divided by 2. So that will give us 78 divided by 2. And this angle here, angle we are looking for is 39 degrees. And this angle here also is also what, 39 degrees. So that's the solution to question number 11 as well of WAEC 2022 General Mathematics question, the theory part. We are moving to question number 12 now, which is the second to the last question for this year 2022. Question number 12 is on probability. Question number 12 is on probability, and the second one is also on the solid shape. Now let's solve the question number 12a, which is on probability. The probability that an athlete will not win any of the 3 races is 1/4. So if the probability that he will not win any of the 3 races is 1/4, then you can find probability that he will win, because we know that probability of success plus probability of failure should be 1. Probability of success plus probability of failure should be equals to 1. Then if that should be the case now, if the probability that he will not win is 1/4, the probability that he will win will be 1 minus 1/4. That will give us 3/4. So that's probability that he will win any of the 3 races. Let's continue. If the athletes run in all the races, that means he run 3 times now. So then what is the probability that the athlete will win? My figure 1, only the second race. That means it will lose the first one, win the second one, then lose the third one. That is the meaning of winning the second race. So the probability of winning the second race will be probability of winning the first race times the probability of not winning the second race, then probability of winning the third race. So what probability that I will win only the second race? Sorry, probability of winning only the second race. That will be probability of not winning the first race. Then probability of winning the second race. That will be probability of not winning the first race. Then multiply by probability of winning the second race. Multiply by the probability of not winning the third race. That's an omission from there. Probability of not winning the first race multiplied by probability of winning the second race, because we are asked to find the probability of winning the second race, and that will be multiplied by the probability of not winning the third race. So that will be probability of not winning the first race is 1/4. The probability of not winning the first race is 1/4. The probability of winning the second race, that's 3/4. The probability of not winning the third race is 1/4. And if you simplify that, that will give us 3/64. Then the second one, what probability that the athlete will win all the 3 races. Probability of winning all the 3 races. It will win race 1, race 2, and race 3. So that will be probability of winning the first race multiplied by the probability of winning second race multiplied by the probability of winning the third race. And that will be 3/4 times 3/4 times 3/4. That gives us 27/64 as well. Then the last one, what probability of winning only 2 of the races? Only 2 of the races now. That means in that one we have options. 2 races now. That means I can have win lose. That means he has 2 races, or I have win the first one, lose the second one, win the third one. He won the 2 races as well in that one. Or I can have probability of losing the first race, winning the last 2 races. So these are the 3 ways in which you can win 2 races. So, and if you do that, winning here is 3/4 times winning here 3/4, losing here 1/4, plus, all means plus. Win is 3/4, lose is 1/4 times win, which is 3/4, or plus lose here is 1/4. Then win is 3/4 times 3/4. So then we simplify this one, we have 9/64. Simplify this one 9/64. Simplify this also, we have 9/64. Then if you find the LCM, which is 64, we'll be having 9 plus 9 plus 9. That will give us 27 over 64 as well. So that is the solution for that question number 12A on probability. Question number 5B is 12B is on a cone. A cone with perpendicular height 24 centimeter has a volume of 120 centimeter cube. So once we know the height of that the first cone, we also know the volume of the first cone. Find the volume of a cone with the same radius of height 64 centimeter. So now that means the two cones have something in common. They are of the same radius. So now that we know the height of the first one, we know the height of the second one, we can compare the height against the what? The volume. So the question is very direct, and you can use proportion to get this, to solve this question easily. So we find the ratio of the height against the ratio of the volume. So volume ratio height, sorry, volume ratio height rather. So the volume of the first what's it called? The volume of the first cone is 1200. Its height is 24. So we don't need we are looking for the volume of the second cone, knowing the height to be what, 84. Then from there, of course, we know that the volume of the second cone will be greater than the volume of the first cone. So if you do it this way and you discover that it reduces, all you need to do is to swap the volume. When you swap the volume, then you get it right. But in this case, if you try this now, we discover that the volume is greater than this out of this one, which is correct, because the height of this one is greater than the height of this one. That means the volume should be greater. So if you cross multiply here, that means you have 120,200 times 84 s times 24, where s represents the volume of this second cone we are looking for. So 24 times f gives us 24x. 120 times 84 is what gives us this. Then to get our s, we divide both sides by 24, and that gives us 4,200 centimeter cube. So the volume of the second rate of cone is 4,200 centimeter cube as the capacity of the second cone. So we are solving WAEC general question for 2022. We are solving the theoretical part, and we have almost completed it. So if you have been watching, following up from the beginning, and you have not subscribed to this channel, please click on the subscribe button immediately. You can help us promote this platform by sharing the content on social medias, and send it to your children that are preparing for WAEC, and so that they can get prepared for the forthcoming examination. Right now we are about to solve the last question, which is question number 13 for the WAEC 2022 general mathematics question. Quickly, let's jump onto it. The question is on solid shape, which is cylinder, and we are having elevation and depression for question number 13. Question number 13 is says that the diameter of a cylinder closed at both ends is 7 centimeter. If the total surface area is 109 centimeter square, calculate the height, taking the pi to be 22/7. A cylinder that is closed at both ends. So the total, we are given the total surface area. So what is total surface area of a cylinder that is closed at both ends, or the both ends are closed? So what will be the total surface area? Now we have the core surface area, which is 2 pi r h. Then the area of the two closed end. Area of one closed end is pi r square. Then area of the second closed end is pi r square, and that will give us the two of the closed end, which is 2 pi r square, plus the curved surface area, which is 2 pi r h. Then something is common here, which is 2 pi r is common. Factorize it, that means you have 2 pi r into r plus h. Then we are told that we have been given the diameter of the cylinder, which is 7 centimeter, but we need a radius. So if diameter is 7, what will be the radius? Radius is 7/2. So from there, we have been given total surface area to be 209 centimeters squared. So put it there. Then you can now substitute the values of the rest. So that means we are looking for the height, which is the h here right now. Then how do we go that? You have 2 times 22 over 7 as pi. Then radius is 7 over 2 into 7 over 2 plus h. Then if you simplify this further, 7 will take care of 7 here. 2 will take care of 2. That means you have 22 left here. That means you have 209 equals 22 into 7 over 2 plus h. Then if you divide both sides by if you divide both sides by 22 here, we have a 209 divided by 22 equals to 7 over 2 plus h. Then from there you can take this 7 over 2 to the other side. That means if you're having h is equals to 2 over 209 over 22 minus 7 over 2. Find the LCM 22. That will give us 209 minus 77. Then that will give us 132 over 22. So that will give us 6. So that means the height of this cylinder is 6 centimeter. The height of cylinder is 6 centimeter. That's the question number 13A. Question number 13B is on elevation and depression. And let's go about it. The points X and Y 19 meter apart are on the same side of a tree. That means there's a tree and there are 2 points X and Y on the same side in front of the on the same side of the tree. Now this is point X, this point Y, and they are 90 meter apart. So between X and Y there is 90 meter. The angle of elevation of the top T, that means the top of the top of the tree is T of the tree from X and Y on the horizontal ground with the foot of the tree are 43 degrees and 38 degrees respectively. So that means probably there's somebody here and there's somebody here also. They both look at the top of the tree and they make an angle of elevation of 38 degrees and angle of elevation of 43 degrees. So you have to illustrate the information in a diagram, and that's what you're having here. So that means if you're able to draw the diagram correctly, you have some mark for the diagram itself. Then find the correct to the 1 decimal place the height of the tree. We have to find the height of the tree, which will represent as h here. Then how do we go about it? The question is not direct question. Of course, you're going to use a trigonometric ratio to solve the question, because this tree is perpendicular to the ground. So that means this angle here is 90 degrees. So that means you're having right angle here, right angle triangle TPS, right angle triangle TPY. You're having 2 right angle triangle there. Also, you have been given the distance between point X and Y, which is 19 meter. So we don't have any other thing given aside from this angle 43 and 38 degrees. All right, that means we need to improvise. Uh, if let's call distance from P to Y as Q. If P to Y is Q, that means we know from P to X to be Q from here to here minus what? 19. Don't forget that if P to Y is Q, then we know that X to Y is 19. That means P to S will be 19 minus, sorry, Q minus 19. So I hope you understand what we have done there. From here to here is Q, and from here to here is 19. That means from here to here is a Q minus 19. So that means from triangle TPY, from triangle TPY, which is the main triangle, the big triangle now, which is the big rectangle triangle, angle 38 degrees with this side will be tan, opposite over adjacent, tan. So that 38 will be opposite, which is h, over adjacent, which is q, everything there. So that means you have h over q. Then you can make h, sorry for the formula, h will be equal to q times tan 38. That's q tan 38. You can call that one equation 1. Also from rectangle triangle TPS, from this triangle TPS as well, you can use trigonometric ratio, that is opposite of this angle 43, which is h over the adjacent also will give us what? Tan. Tan 43 will give us h over q minus 19. So that should be the case. You can also make h sort of the formula, and that will give us q minus 19 will multiply tan 43. You can call that one equation 2. H is equal to this in equation 1, H is equal to this in equation 2. That means something is common to this. That means this is equal to this as well. It means that the q tan 38 will be equal to q minus 19 into tan 43, because H is equal to H here. Then from there, we can open the bracket and simplify further. Tan 38 is 0.7813 multiplied by q and will give us this. Then tan 43 is 9.325. Sorry, 0.949325. Then if that multiply q will give us this, then 0.9325 multiplied by minus 19 will give us minus 17.7178. Then from there we can collect like times by taking this to this side. So we'll be having 0.7813q minus 0.9325q equals to minus 17.7178. Then if you subtract this, that will give us minus 0.1512q equals to minus 17.7178. Minus, we take care of minus. They can divide both sides by 0.152 to get our q. And if you divide both sides by that, you'll be having 117.18 meter as the value of our what? Our q. That means from year to year is 117.18 meter. Then if you know that our aim is to find the height of the tree, which is our h. Now that we know that our q, we can substitute our q here to get h, or you can substitute our q here to get what? H. So in equation, from equation 1, our h is q tan 38. So our q is 117.18. Then multiply by tan 38, that will give us 91.55. And if you approximate that to the one decimal place as you have been told, and you'll be have your h to be equal to 91.6 meter to one decimal place. So that is the solution to the question number 13 of WAEC 2022 general mathematics question, the theory part. So I want to appreciate you for staying tuned to watch this video, and I hope you have been able to learn one or two things from the video. You understand what you have done step by step. If you don't, please go back again and watch the video, and you see that they are very simple questions, and it's possible you have 100 over 100 in this theory without losing any one mark. So, and are you preparing for WAEC? You are preparing for NECO? These are the material that can help you prepare better. So watch them, and if you have not get the objective, you are going to you have already solved that one as well. You can check the playlist. And the next video, we are going to be solving NECO 2022, both on theory and objective question as well. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like the video, share the video, comment on it, and share the video with your colleagues in a school. And if you are preparing for WAEC, this is a material that can help you to prepare for it better. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you and God bless you.